How's that?
Okay, now it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I would like to start with the part of this case when we have our Pope. I mean John Paul II. He has changed his decision about McCarrick and his nomination, and what could be the reason of the change of this decision?
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. How did Pope Francis or Pope John Paul?
John Paul.
How did he change a decision?
He has some kind of information. It was rumors about sexual misconduct of McCarrick.
Yes.
And he and after communication with Cardinal Dzwisz, he has changed his mind because he had some kind of doubt about this nomination, which were connected with this rumors. And after this this conversation with Cardinal Dzwisz, he just made it.
Yes. Okay, I understand that. Okay.
Yeah, and what does it shows?
Pope John Paul II was clearly friends with Cardinal McCarrick. As he was friends with Cardinal O'Connor, who I believe was the first person to make John Paul II aware of the allegations against McCarrick, I can't understand at all why Cardinal Dzwisz or His Holiness Pope John Paul II would not have flagged those allegations. Why would they still appoint him as Archbishop of Washington, D.C., when one of the most important and influential cardinals in the United States was raising alarms? To my mind, John Paul II was a bystander to abuse and an enabler of abuse. Cardinal Dzwisz, too. In our country, in the United States, these kinds of activities are sometimes criminal. Having studied John Paul II, I've met both John Paul II and Cardinal Dzwisz in Rome in 1994. I revered them. But I think in many ways now they're going to be thought of as criminals. These were men who were friendly with survivors of the Holocaust, very many Jewish friends. And within that community, there's a sense of the guilt of bystanders in reference to the Holocaust. And here we have a different type of tragedy where children have been abused by men of God. And to stand by and do nothing, to not take action, but yet to promote somebody of that nature, to my mind, that's criminal.
And in that time, who could block this flow of information of this kind of sexual misconduct or something like this?
Any number of people could have blocked that information from reaching the Vatican, except for the fact that now we know that it made it there. He had to have had many friends in the American hierarchy, such as Cardinal Farrell, who had heard rumors about McCarrick's activity and dismissed them. Farrell is trying to say that he didn't know, or he didn't take it seriously. He didn't look into it seriously, in my judgment. There's any number of people. Farrell is just one of many. There were 20-some bishops that Cardinal McCarrick influenced over the years. We know that he made donations to various hierarchs, both in the United States and in Rome, from the Papal Foundation. And it seems to me that there is an army of of people that stood by and did nothing. And Cardinal Ray, who was in charge of the Congregation for Bishops, the report suggests that he took McCarrick aside in St. Peter's Square one time and talked to him sternly about these allegations. I'm heartened to hear that somebody of his stature spoke up, but then people higher than him, most notably John Paul II, still promoted him. That's really not going to land well in the United States. And I'm sure many people, good people in Poland, faithful people in Poland, are hearing this today and are similarly perplexed, scandalized, probably.
What could be the role of Cardinal Dzwisz? I mean, it was some kind of main role, or the same as another cardinals?
Cardinal Dzwisz clearly was not just the secretary to John Paul II. He was a gatekeeper. He is the one who encouraged and provided access to John Paul II. He had a letter from Cardinal Dzwisz, or from Cardinal McCarrick in his hand. Cardinal McCarrick pledging his devotion to John Paul II and saying that he was just completely surprised that anyone would speak these things of this nature. Dzwisz saw that document. Dzwisz had access to that document, I believe in 2000, something like the year 2000. They, of course, had met in the United States in 1976. Many people, that was their first exposure to John Paul II when he was a cardinal visiting the United States for a Eucharistic Congress. But among those people that John Paul was friendly with, that he held in high esteem, was John Cardinal O'Connor. And Cardinal O'Connor brought those questions, those allegations, to the Holy Father. And so it wasn't just McCarrick talking to John Paul II. There were other very powerful American prelates speaking to the Pope, and he chose another action. He should have put him on ice. He should have not allowed him to function in ministry any longer, and instead he promoted him.
Okay, thank you very much for a conversation.
You're welcome, Barbara. All the best to you and the people of your country. Thank you.
You too. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye now.